What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Kevin Cage back with another XRP video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're interested in XRP, and feel free to send this video to any newcomers that are looking to get invested into the digital asset space. As we know, there are going to be many winners, even more losers, and XRP in my mind will be one of the obvious contenders that I believe is here to stay. And that is just my opinion, not financial advice. Please, I encourage you to watch the hundreds of videos I've done in terms of research, fundamentals, speculation, you name it, and keep an open mind. So to kick things off, we are on polysign.io. I encourage all of you guys to go to this website. This is an initiative by the company Ripple. To no surprise, we have David Schwartz, one of the original OGs in the space. He is the CTO of Ripple, as well as we can see here, CTO and chief cryptographer at Ripple Labs, co-designer of the XRP ledger, one of the foremost civilian cryptographers in the US. Now, I believe, what was it, late 80s, early 90s, he was also working for the NSA, no surprise. And then we have Arthur Brito. He was actually one of the original founders of XRP when he created the 100 billion units of formerly XNS, today called XRP. All right. And he would like to remain anonymous as well. So co-founder of Ripple Labs and co-designer of XRP Ledger. Ripple has grown to over $30 billion in assets in just 5 years. And I know people will still call this a scam because it's one of the highest valued companies to come out of Silicon Valley. Please, we have the CME Group, we have Google Ventures, we have all these original investors in this. Just because it doesn't fit your narrative as a Bitcoin holder does not make XRP a scam. It is already being utilized in transaction flows by live, like wholesale customers, for financial institutions, for remittance, etc. All right, already 10% of all transaction flow between the Mexican dollar and the US, or the Mexican dollar, or Mexican peso, excuse me, in the US dollar remittance corridor. And notice we have Antoinette here. She was speaking at IMF conventions in the International Monetary Fund, for God's sake. We have Tim Keeney as well, and this is part of Polysign with the Multisig Custody for cryptocurrencies. We need security, we need immutability, we need insurance, technically, to ensure that the trillions of dollars can be digitized and come over and make this migration. And notice this gentleman, it was is a retired vice chairman of BNY Mellon, which is another Ripple partner, heavy ties to the company Ripple, of course, and XRP, if you guys remember Matthew Mellon, and responsible for custodying 25% of global institutional assets. And we also have Jack McDonald here, previously CEO of Conifer Financial Services. I mean, his resume speaks levels. Just leave it at that. Legends of the industry. All right, so why am I talking about, custody, multisig, trillions of dollars, digitalization? I want to point to this old video I put out, and I re-uploaded it on July 24th, 2020 on my second YouTube channel. If you guys want to go subscribe there, sometimes I'll put different content out. And essentially, in this video, we have Mr. Jay Biancomano, and he's representing State Street. They are a massive custodian, and I highly recommend watching this video. It's literally 9 minutes. You can watch the first 2 minutes and get the gist, but I'm just going to summarize here as I did right here. State Street, one of the world's largest custody banks, which holds more than 30 trillion with a T or more, 30 trillion or more than 10% of the world's total assets, is getting ready for blockchain, a hyped up record-keeping technology made famous by Bitcoin, the original crypto. We're seeing, and this is a quote from him, we're seeing assets start to become digitized. And this was back, I believe, in 2019. I just re-uploaded it, months ago. And of course, we're seeing digitalization. We're seeing the pandemic. We're seeing a push to go cashless. We're seeing more mobile apps. Banks, brick and mortars are shutting down some of their locations because why not? We can run it through an app and outsource. And notice Jay says right here, State Street's head of digital assets, or he is head of digital assets and blockchain and capital markets, trickle, and then we believe there will be a flood. And he's referring to the money pouring in to these digital assets. Now, it's not just going to be Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. Stocks, equities, they are going to be tokenized. This is the future. Eventually, real estate will be tokenized entirely. If you cannot, buy and afford and get a loan to buy, a 200 unit condo, you can buy a fraction of it, and it just makes sense. If you can't afford a $200 share, why not put $20 in it and get 0.1 or own 10% of it? This is the future. It's going to be tokenized entirely, and people that are catching this trend are going to make out like bandits, and that is why I'm trying to make videos and inform people, and I'm right there learning with you guys every single day. None of us have a crystal ball. So Right here, encourage you guys to go to PolySign, read more about it. I mean, they're speaking at the International Monetary Fund. There are tons of non-disclosure agreements, NDAs regarding this. We are excited to hear more about it. There's been conspiracies, there's been talks that it will launch in 2020. We will simply see. We can see PolySign Inc. 2020. We're running out of time. There's 1 month left. Nonetheless, I'm excited for what's to come, specifically for Ripple, the company, to do an IPO potentially next year. Fingers crossed. I don't get why people think that's bad. I think that is extremely good for a company to raise even more money and be in an even more powerful position to press their advantage. Next, so Roth Economy sharing this, we have a Ripple partner, Cambridge Global Payments, and before I talk about them, keep in mind they're connected to FleetCor, and we'll just remember this that I pulled up. Just trying to make this a decent presentation for any newcomers. So we have FleetCor, as we can see here, they're connected to Cambridge. So let's just read about this really quick. FleetCor and Ripple team up to modernize payments utilizing blockchain. A new pilot program explores the use of the digital asset XRP to enhance efficiency of international payments. This is back in March of 2018. So they are a leading global provider of commercial payment solutions. FleetCor is launching a pilot program with the company Ripple, etc., and Cambridge Global Payments, which is Ripple. Now notice the FleetCor owned B2B international payment provider. Interesting. So Cambridge owns FleetCor. FleetCor was testing and piloting XRP. And this is all under the table when the markets are quiet. This is when everyone was calling XRP a scam after it hit well over, $3, starts coming down. I've seen it time and time again, and I know you guys, some people have been in this market since 2013. I have not. But what I'm telling you is this. Anytime the market explodes, everybody's cocky, everybody's happy, they're buying when XRP 70 cents, $1, etc. And then if it ever corrected to 30 cents, 40 cents, 20 cents, they're scared and they're not buying. My strategy is simple. I've been accumulating crypto for years, and what I will do is I have enough crypto, I have many altcoins. If it moons, awesome, we're rich, I'm happy. But I'm keeping money on the side because these parabolic rises and jumps in price are not sustainable, in my opinion, until more companies are utilizing XRP. I want utility to take place. When XRP is being sent between all these institutions 24/7 and growing and growing and growing, it increases demand, then the new bottom for XRP will be 20 cents, 50 cents. The new bottom could be $2, $10, etc. I'm waiting for that ground floor to rise. If anyone tells you that, the price has to go here right now, low or high, they do not know what they're talking about. Anything can happen in a speculative market right now, and it's also important to speculate in a speculative asset class because that is where the money is made. Do not let anyone make you feel bad for getting excited about something or entertaining different ideas. All right, rant over. So, FleetCor owned by Cambridge, and as we can see here, Roth Economy is sharing this. This is on businesswire.com. A Ripple partner is working with Beanworks, another company, for accounts payable automation. Notice the CEO says, "We're thrilled to partner with Cambridge to bring international wire transfers to our customers with real-time foreign exchange rates." Now, I've been reading all the Ripple engineering articles about dislocation, spot and FX rates, and it's very interesting how they're measuring this. And of course, XRP is already being tested in the future with the actual swaps in the derivatives market. This is very exciting, and of course, Asia is always stepping up and moving quickly with this, because we know Japan loves XRP. So we'll talk about this article briefly. We can see Cambridge, a FleetCor company, I keep mixing, who owns who up, so apologies there, and a provider of integrated cross-border payments and currency risk management solutions, and Beanworks Solution, a leader in cloud-based accounts payable. So notice, I'm not saying it's all about XRP. All I'm saying is that these businesses, these fintechs, these financial platforms are working together to leverage each other's strengths to get into, deeper regions, to increase their customers, to make payments more efficient, whether that's in terms of quotes, whether it's in terms of processing time, whether it's in terms of cost. That is my argument, that digitization is right in front of us, and to completely ignore basically investing in part of that ecosystem right now, specifically since it is open source, I think it's pretty foolish, because the real risk in this market is taking no risk at all. And that is my opinion. And also, everything I invest, I am willing to lose. But I don't think that will be the case. Non-financial advice, just got to say that. So, Martin Volk, also thank you for tagging me in this along with 2020 XRP 2020. So this is interesting. This little speculation for you guys. This is going to be on December 3rd, 12/3, 123. We know we like those numbers in the XRP community. If you guys get the get the joke. So right here, the US Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, as we know, has essentially been lollygagging, so to speak. I'll just say it, blatantly like that. And we know that they have not clarified whether they believe XRP is a security, or if the CFTC has not commented if XRP is a commodity. Obviously, it is in our best interest that XRP is some type of commodity or utility token. So there's tons of speculation. Everybody's biting their fingernails, wondering. All I'm saying is this, and you guys can disagree. In this market, I believe it will be hero or zero. XRP will either, just like the quotes from Ripple, put a dent in the universe and completely revolutionize how value is transferred and win. That means big price, by the way. Or we go to zero and it was a failure after 8 years of building and connecting with already the 400 direct financial institutions plus the thousands of clients they have, because they're already integrated with some of the top technology providers in the world, such as we have ACI Worldwide, we have Volante, we have Earthport. Well, I guess he's not really a technology provider. We have CGI. It just goes on and on and on. So please go to the clearinghouse.org. You guys can see some of those. There are several listed right there, and they are behemoths. Please understand that. All right, so there's a little speculation if this has any, commentary on digital assets or anything. I've learned not to get my hopes up in this market. I essentially hope for the best, but I prepare for the worst all the time. So, time and time again, there's new dates saying XRP is going to moon, XRP is going to moon. And, I kind of stay quiet, because if I challenge anybody's thought on Twitter and they own 500 XRP and want it to go to $5,000 per token tomorrow, they're going to get mad at me. And even if I am incredibly bullish on XRP, so there's no winning, so I don't even argue on Twitter. Next, so just as I was referring to in other videos where we had the highest numbers of XRP wallet addresses, highest number of interest for XRP in terms of us everyday people, starting creating accounts and buying XRP. The same thing applies for Ethereum and a variety of other altcoins. Very good to see that, as we can see a new record set in 2020 in this key metric. So just to speed through this, we can see besides improvements to its price, more Ethereum addresses have been created this year than in any other. Now, if you know my thoughts, I like Ethereum. I hold it. It is part of my long-term hold. Keep in mind, though, it still has some hurdles to get through, but it has tons of projects, other cryptocurrencies, built on top of its blockchain. Some of them are not agnostic, so if Ethereum fails, there could be potentially hundreds of thousands that fail as well. Now, I do not think Ethereum will fail, in my opinion. I really do wish it well, because I like a lot of ERC20 tokens, and I also hold some other tokens that are agnostic, meaning they can survive on Ethereum, but if Ethereum starts doing bad, Chainlink, QNT, they can leave. They can go to other networks. So very cool. And the premise is that your crypto assets that you guys like, I wish them well. I really do. I'm not threatened by them or intimidated by them to defeat XRP in any way at all. I think there's going to be so much money. There's so much friction in the world, and there's going to be many winners. I just feel that interoperability will be what's important to ensure that these technologies can bridge between each other, just like Algorand on, USDC for Circle, or, Stellar and XLM. The same concept applies. So it'll be about interoperability. All right. So Ethereum's today hit its highest price since 2018. Very exciting. We saw that $600 plus Ethereum. And of course, retracements are expected. And this year so far, the Ethereum network has added an extra almost 15 million addresses that hold money. Absolutely insane. Very exciting. I have to go back to the XRP metrics to check that out as well. But also, banks, Quorum, JP Morgan, a lot of them have played with this. I know Ethereum's network has been forked as well, but this is definitely a contender to, keep an eye on, to say the least. And on the topic of Ethereum, guys, if you have not yet created your own crypto domain, highly recommend doing so. Links are in the video description. As you can see, mine is kevincage.crypto in the top right. Now, what they're doing right here is going through cryptocurrencies, and they're adding addresses to these cryptocurrency addresses. So for example, let me go back a little bit. We have right here, Litecoin, XRP, Zilliqa, Ethereum. You can put in your Ethereum address, your Bitcoin address, your XRP address. You can add any other cryptos you like. And once they add that address of long serial numbers, and then I tie it to my kevincage.crypto. So now when my friend says, hey, what's your crypto address? I don't have to go copy and paste some long string of serial numbers that's overwhelming, frankly. I can just tell them kevincage.crypto. It's like an email address for my money. So just like PayPal might have a username, or Venmo might have a username, or even Cash App, if you guys are familiar with that, this is the same thing that applies in Unstoppable Domains, is a part of the Open Payments Coalition that Ripple started. So just want to make this known for any newcomers. Anyways, back to the video. In other news, so in terms of XRP ledger developments, we have decentralized exchange, payment channels, all these great things that most people have no idea about, and they don't realize that XRP is much more than just a digital asset. We have a protocol for interoperability, Interledger Protocol. We have XRP Ledger, which has all of those things I just listed, plus more. And then we have the native asset XRP. Okay, so right here, smart contract feature, hooks, is live now on the XRP ledger. This amendment has finally been enabled. Now this is November 2020. Keep in mind, back in July, we had this little article put out by Vitsevind, who's a developer, and essentially they call this idea hooks. So for all you nerds, I'm just going to summarize it briefly. Essentially, there are transaction hooks, so different applications on the ledger. They are small, efficient pieces of code being defined on an XRP ledger account, allowing logic to be executed before and or after specific transactions take place. These hooks can be really simple, such as reject payments that are less than 10 XRP, or for all outgoing payments, send 10% to my savings account. Guys, this is the future for these types of business integrations and logic. This is an example of what we call smart contracts, if-then statements, and when it is fulfilled, it's performed, it's immutable, it cannot be changed. This will create a new world of business for everybody, and this has never been thought of before. Once we have it and smart contracts are big and everyone's using it, we're going to go, yeah, how did we ever survive 20 years ago? But this is what is happening. It's hard to see, and it's just like us trying to imagine, how big the internet would be in, 1992. Can you imagine even holding a phone and imagining what Facebook was, or Twitter, or YouTube? And now, little do we know, we see how video consumption is on the rise. We have other applications like streaming with Netflix and Hulu and, even music and Spotify. This is going to change everything we know, and it's just going faster and faster and faster. Next, so the US government enlists the USDC, a stablecoin, Circle. I do not like Tether, USDT. Let that be known. I do not advocate holding that. Hold it at your own risk. Now, I'm also not trying to scare you guys. It is just my personal choice as an investor. When I'm holding a stablecoin, I'm either holding US dollar or USDC. Okay, so, and to be honest, no value is guaranteed, even a fiat currency. So for global foreign policy objective in Venezuela, Circle CEO, and this is Jeremy Allaire, of course, tight connections to, ISO. We can talk about Ripple, XTC, IOTA, Algorand, of course, XLM, of course, all the little side chains they got going on. Just interesting to see this. And Circle is another company that I predict, and I think many people do, that Circle would most likely be one of those fintechs that are cryptocurrency centric that could potentially do an IPO, an initial public offering in the future. Next, just touching on this, I know I covered this a few videos ago, MUFG is RippleNet, one of the biggest banks in the world, no big deal, and we can see Japan's banking giant MUFG plans to launch a blockchain payment network in 2021. As always, I get people saying, oh wait, does this mean XRP failed? No, not at all. You have to understand there's going to be private networks, there's going to be permissionless networks, they're going to be everywhere, and they're all going to interact. That is just what I want to push out there. It's an issue of trust. It's an issue of speed. Each customer is going to have their own preference. So just like XLM will be more what people believe for the retail market, same concept applies for XRP, more so going after the wholesale interbank settlements. Next, and I already went over this in another video, right here. So XRP Crypto Wolf, guys, definite follow if you're in the XRP community. Great guy. And right here, Argentina and Brazil, so of course, the Argentine peso, highly volatile, similar to Venezuela, and Brazil get their own Stellar stablecoins. Very cool. So a partnership between Settle Network and Stellar should make things easier for the unbanked to send and receive remittances. Remittances meaning essentially those that, go to other countries and are sending their money home or vice versa. So very interesting. And of course, this is something that XRP, XLM, and a variety of other cryptos will help big time for the unbanked and the underbanked populations. You have to think Africa, India, Latin America. There's plenty of regions that need to learn how to send money easily without getting hit with 7% fees or 10% fees like in the UAE. FYI, where Ripple's new regional headquarters is centered in Dubai, and they are ready to work with what is it, 200 to 300 more big players. I just can't keep up anymore. I don't even get how people call this stuff a scam. I've been going 3 years, and I'm just daily calling it a scam. And yeah, I don't even care. Like, price right now, these pumps don't impress me. The dumps don't impress me. I'm here for big money, and the price is not something that's going to convince me if something's a scam or not. Utility will. All right. And the same concept applies for this, guys. If you are brand new, and sorry if this video is long, people are arguing that we need regulatory clarity for XRP and other digital assets, crypto, to finally explode and solve real problems at scale. Now, people don't get what I mean. They go, well, there are some regulations. I go, there's a difference between regulations and regulatory clarity. Regulations are simply rules. We need clear rules, clear guidelines. And once we know the rules of the road, we know how to drive, and we are properly able to drive. And I believe once we have that clarity, specifically what you can do and what you cannot, in no gray area. The gray area is what keeps people afraid. This is what is potentially keeping the US behind. So we need clarity. We'll see what happens with the SEC. We'll see what happens with future regulators. I'm grateful for Brian Brooks in office, kicking butt, formerly at Coinbase, all about crypto, and is overseeing the US banking system since April 2020. Yeah, that's another argument. So you're telling me cryptocurrencies aren't here to stay? Why is he leading the US banking system as the acting comptroller of currency? The people that argue against crypto have not dug deep enough. They're focusing on current price and not focusing on what is happening right now. All right? And to finish this video off, guys, Crypto Whale, another account, an OG in the space that bought, XRP, Bitcoin way back when. Just wanted to share this, and I think we all know what QE is, the Federal Reserve is doing. Notice this quote: "Quantitative easing is just like a drug addict needing more and more just to maintain a level and avoid a crash," referring to the current markets today. And FYI, I know everybody, maybe some of you are happy that the Dow Jones hit an all-time high. All I'm saying is, and I don't want to put fear in, your mind and heart, but I just want to be honest. How on earth is that making sense right now? If you look at the QE, the printing that the Fed is doing and been doing for years, it is simply just a spinning of plates. They're trying to stay afloat. They're trying to stay above this undertow that is potentially coming. We have gaps in the Dow. How on earth can the stock market climb to all-time highs ever in history when we're in lockdowns? I don't understand that. When small businesses have taken the biggest hit ever, yet there's big groups and airlines and all these huge institutions that are getting bailed out, but the people, you and I, are getting screwed. And we're going home. Yeah, you can collect your, short term if you're lucky, or unemployment. Nope. So yeah, it does upset me. It upsets me to see children going to school in masks. I think it upsets you guys too. So all I'm saying is, whether you want stocks to go up, whether you want crypto to go up, this world is absolutely crazy. All the world is a stage, and I just encourage you guys to entertain different ideas. Truly entertain them, even if they make you mad. Entertain them without fully accepting them. And I think it really helps us, and I'm talking to myself here too. When I give motivational stuff, it's self-talk, just like my tweets. I just encourage us all to expect the unexpected. All right? So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.